Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Randy here with RTSMobile.com, bringing you a quick Friday video. Happy Friday. Got the Friday shirt, ready to rock and roll. You like that? Ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's do it. Happy Friday. So what are we doing today? Today, we are going to talk about the July development blog update. Just came out yesterday, where Mohawk posted this update, and he said in about 2 weeks, this will be a patch. So I want to go through this update, talk about it right now, and if you guys have comments or questions or any changes that you like or dislike or disagree with, let's talk about it now. Let's get it in front of Mohawk and the devs because they have been very willing to listen to us. They've done a great job of taking community feedback into account. You know, obviously they can't change the whole game in each patch. They have to balance one little piece at a time. So don't be upset if you do request changes or you don't like something and they don't change it right away. They are changing. I'd say 80% of the stuff that I've requested in the last year has at least been looked at, and more than half of it's been changed and actually moved into a patch, which is great. So, what are we looking at first? We've got this brand new legendary warlord, the Gut Rot Spoom. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Let's call him Gut Rot Spoome. Let's really make that fun. Mr. Spoome here. He is a legendary orange-colored Nurgle warlord. He's going to give buffs to Nurgle and monster armor as well as Nurgle melee attack, and provide a bonus to sabotage when stationed as a defender. Now this is big, okay? The armor's big because it's a direct multiplier in the toughness calculation, right? So for example, if I have a bunch of Plague Bearers of Nurgle, my armor, you know, I don't have a ton of armor to buff, but 35 armor, if you buff that by 50% or by 100% armor, you can jump up to 70% armor. 70 armor stats, just for example. But the real stat we care about is the sabotage bonus stat. So I don't know what the percentage is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty good if it's a legendary warlord. It's probably going to be like 35% or 40%. But we've already got 25% sabotage bonus on defense. So what does that mean? Well, in your battle rituals, you have the sabotage ritual, and it gives a 25% debuff to enemy attacking troops. So if we're adding another warlord that's going to give, a first warlord that's going to give another sabotage bonus, we could see that going, 50% debuff, 70% debuff. Now you're talking about getting the territory of being able to defend against a T5 player as a Tier 4 troop, or defend against a Tier 4 player with Tier 3 troops, which is huge because we really need that in the game right now. And this is different from the Fortress Combat bonus, which I want to show you. For example, you can get on pieces of gear, such as the Flame Wreath Bracers at Keep 25. This is for your hands at Keep 25. And you can see down here, Fortress Combat bonus, you see down there, right below me? If you get this up to purple, you're going to get a 17.5% Fortress Combat bonus, which is going to buff your troops. So this is, if you get the Fortress Combat bonus along with Sabotage, now you're talking about, double beneficial stats. Your stats are increased, the enemy stats are decreased, so now the disparity is going to grow, the tier bonus disparity is going to shrink. Now, while I would much prefer Mohawk just reduce the tier bonus to like 25% per tier instead of 75% tier, because now he's got to do all these funky things to make it balance out. I do think this is a step in the right direction, because right now it's combat and I can't even take my bubble off because there's so many T5 players that just come in and one-shot you, dude. They can take 20, 30,000 losses, they don't care. It's $100 for them, and then you end up zeroed. So until there's a way to defend against it, I'm keeping the bubble on. Okay, so that's the warlord. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to level him up and put him on my wall as a defender. There's also a bunch of new Tier 5 units, so they are adding some endgame content, which is nice. The last two patches really focused on Tier 3 and Tier 4 content. Now we're getting some new Tier 5 content in here, which is great. Keeping the endgame progressive, adding new stuff. You can see the Demon Prince of Tzinch. They're basically just creating additional god-specific uses for each of the Demon Princes. The Tzinch Demon Prince is horrible. I'm not even going to look at him. Okay, the Nurgle is interesting to talk about. His toughness is you know, so leaves a little bit to be desired, but the damage is good. The damage in the melee attack stat is good. So this guy will be pretty close to the undivided Demon Prince stats. And with the new Nurgle Warlord, he could be, these guys could be God mode for defense. Okay? The Demon Prince of Slaanesh. This guy is a ranged attack. Has pretty good ranged DPS with 69 attack stat and 1,000 damage. He'll be a good competitor with the Chariots of Tzich. Okay. And then we've got the Skull Cannons of Khorne, which is a brand new unit coming into the game. These guys are going to be really cool to use. I've already seen a lot of comments about how people don't like their DPS. Listen, you guys don't seem to understand. Okay, getting 1% or getting a 10% damage bonus to the Demon Prince of Slaanesh is going to give you, 100 bonus damage. A 10% bonus damage stat to the Skull Cannons of Khorne is going to give you 150 bonus damage. You guys are missing the point. Having this high of a base damage stat is going to be insane. You're going to really, this is a perfect case for saying, in this particular case, a buff to damage percent, a damage percent buff Warlord is going to be far superior to an attack buff Warlord on this guy. So again, get the damage buffs with these. The Skull Cannons of Khorne are going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to see him come out. Unfortunately, I'm about 5 years away from hitting Keep 30 because of the paywall, but I will get there eventually, and I'll have some Skull Cannons at that time. The rest of it, I don't want to go through too much longer with these little peripherals, but there is some cool stuff coming, new Infernal Challenges, new Castle Keep skins. The Warband I do want to talk about real quick. This is really, really nice. With the Skulltaker Warlord a few patches ago, there's been a lot of abuse of warbands, of single-player warbands, really abusing the warband bonus stats on the new gear that just dropped, and also the when the Warlord, it gives you a warband bonus. So players have been able to abuse this by starting a warband. And then sending out, with that warband bonus. Now you have to have more than one march in a warband to use it, and you can also warband tiles, which is nice because I have seen gathering tiles with 600,000 tier 5 troops on them, and I'm not hitting that. Other than that, they are making a lot of balance changes, and they're also doing some changes to realm versus realm to really make it function better. Where was that change? I want to talk about that real quick. I don't know where that was. They're making some changes to it. I don't know where they said they're making the changes, but they're making changes to RVR, where city points are going to be distributed differently. Attacking a PVE city is going to give you drop your shield. And oh, here it is. I went right by it. Look how stupid I am. Okay, so some of the best changes, we've all requested these changes. Again, this is another great example. The devs dropped the beta realm versus realm. Didn't work very well. We all sent in comments. Some of us, some of you guys are a little mean. Constructive comments go a long way. So we did send in some constructive criticism as well, which caused all these changes. They're making a ton of changes. So challenge points gained from defeating invader troops boosted by 100%. I personally asked for that the second it started. Really excited to see that come into place. Challenge points for holding Empire cities have been increased by 300%. This is huge because before, there's no point to hold the city when you can just go attack an NPC-controlled city and get more points than you get in the whole day. Okay? Now they've also reduced the points for defeating Empire cities controlled by NPCs by 80%. This is so big. The last R vs. R was just a cluster of 30 bubbles, just porting every 30 minutes, porting one city to the next city, the next city to the next city, as the 30-minute flame cooldown went away. And then, of course, we've got attacking Empire cities is now considered a hostile action and will drop any active shield. That's really key. We really need that. So, looking really forward to the next region wars. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially with the new balance changes that came out last patch with the different unit balancing. And I'm expecting that they are going to balance some more units this patch. I just didn't announce it yet, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, Stick around this weekend because I'll be doing some more videos. I've got some stuff I'm gonna do for this game, and also, you know, I'm mythic rank in my Mobile Legends Bang Bang, so I'll be playing some of that and doing some streams. Okay, love you guys a long time. Randy out. Peace.